Welcome to Harvest Kids! Hey, Jackie, I just got a new drone and I was wondering if you could fly it around and get some video of us. That would be great.
Sure. I'm not a tech person. I don't even know how to open this box. Can you guys help me? Hey, Isaac.
Oh, hi, Miss Jackie.
I want you to make snacky time today. Can you please make a 4-layer cake out of all these ingredients? 4 layers. Okay, bye.
That sounds like something you're really good at and I have no experience with. I usually eat snacks. I don't make them.
Hey, Jackie, we need someone to lead worship today, so if you can go ahead and take the guitar, I think it's your turn.
I think you mean someone else.
No, I think you're called.
How does it go? Okay, ready? Help.
Okay, Mr. Mike, I need your help. So I've been commissioned to make an art piece of a lion, but I don't have enough time. I have to run. Can you please make a really highly detailed picture of a lion? I want all the details, every hair, lots of shadows, super highly detailed. I know you can do this.
Everyone knows that I'm not a good drawer. Oh man, he's not gonna like this. Help!
Oh man, it's hard when someone asks you to do something that you're not good at. And it was hard for Moses when God asked him to do something that he didn't think he was good at. But God had a purpose for Moses and for his life, and we're gonna learn all about that today as we read our Bible story. We're gonna play a game. We are gonna make a craft. And we're gonna worship, which starts right now. So everybody, if you're not already, stand up to your feet and let's get ready to praise God now. Yeah. Where'd that guitar go? I wanna try again.
What is the Bible? Why did they write it?
Does anybody know? Does anybody know?
It was written so you believe.
We believe it. We believe it.
Believe it. Have life in his name. Believe it. Have life in his name. God wrote the Bible so you believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. He came down from heaven. Came down from heaven. He came down from heaven for everyone. He came down from heaven. Came down from heaven. He came down from heaven. God's only Son. He came down.
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 He came down from heaven. Came down from heaven. He came down from heaven for everyone. What is the Bible? Why did they write it?
Does anybody know? Does anybody know?
It was written so you believe.
We believe it. We believe it.
Believe it. Have life in his name. Believe it. Have life in his name. God wrote the Bible so you believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. He came down from heaven. Came down from heaven. He came down from heaven for everyone. He came down from heaven. Came down from heaven. He came down from heaven. God's only Son. He came down.
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 He came down from heaven. Came down from heaven. He came down from heaven for everyone.
Hey boys and girls, welcome to another Focus Up moment. This is where we take time out of our service to worship God and really focus on connecting our hearts to His. Today's song is Hymn of Heaven, and this is a beautiful song. So Focus Up moments are meant to change up our service a little bit. Maybe you move to a different part of the room or dim the lights a little bit and really focus on God. So let's sing this song together. How I long to breathe the air of heaven, where pain is gone, and mercy fills the streets, to look upon the one who bled to save me, and walk with him for all eternity. There will be a day when all will bow before him. There will be a day when death will be no more, standing face to face with he who died and rose again. Holy, holy is the Lord. Let's sing that again. How I long to breathe the air of heaven, where pain is gone and mercy fills the streets, to look upon the one who bled to save me, and walk with him for all eternity. Sing this out loud. There will be a day when all will bow before him. There will be a day when death will be no more, standing face to face, he who died and rose again. Holy, holy is the Lord. Holy, holy is the Lord. Holy, holy is the Lord. Well, thanks for joining me in today's Focus Up moment. We'll see you next time.
Hi kids, welcome back to another Game Time, Game Time. Today's game is called the Burning Bush Shuffle. So you're familiar with this type of game. We're gonna have 3 burning bushes, and then we're gonna hide Moses behind one of the burning bushes. And then we're gonna shuffle it up, because that's why it's called the Burning Bush Shuffle. And then it's on you to see if you think you know which burning bush Moses is hiding behind. So let's reveal Moses here behind the first burning bush. This is nice shuffling music and sound effects. Nice. And done. Do you think you know which bush he's behind? Do you think you know? Do you think you know? We're gonna reveal it in 3, 2, 1. Ooh, he was behind bush 1 the whole time. What a nice place to start. Burning bush number 1. Okay, we're hiding it again. And time to shuffle. Shuffle it up, shuffle it up. Shuffle it up. Are you keeping your eye on it? Let's reveal it. What bush do you think he's behind? 3, 2, 1. Bush number 3. He was behind bush number 3. This is fun. Let's keep it going. Hide, Moses. Hide, 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 hide. And now let's do the burning bush shuffle. Okay, it's done shuffling. Where do you think he is? Boom! Right behind bush number 3. Well done. All right, Moses. Hide away. And let's start the shuffle. And stop. Where do you think he is? Do you know what bush he's behind? Is it 1, 2, or 3? Let's reveal in 3, 2, 1. He was still behind bush number 3. I thought for sure it'd be number 2 because it went 1, then 3, and then 2. Oh well. You know, I think it's time that we speed this up a little bit, huh? Make it a little bit more tricky. What do you guys think? Let's do it. Okay, hide, Moses. And now we're gonna do the burning bush shuffle. Yeah, get it real nice and shuffled. Okay, it came to a stop. What bush do you think Moses is hiding behind? Burning bush number 1, burning bush number 2, or burning bush number 3? Let's reveal it in 3, 2, 1. Burning bush number 2. There we go. There's the payoff we were looking for. All right, let's keep it going with another shuffle. Hide, Moses. Hide, 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 hide. And shuffle. Okay, which bush do you think he's hiding behind? Moses, where are you? Let's reveal it in 3, 2, 1. Bush number 3 again. Did you get it right? Did you get it right? Good job, Moses. You're quick on that. All right, this is gonna be the fastest and craziest one because we only have 1 left. And you know we gotta go ham for the last one. So, hide, Moses, it's your turn to hide. And we're gonna shuffle it up. Shuffle done. Do you know where he is? Do you know where he was? This one's worth all the points right here. Let's reveal it in 3, 2, 1. Burning bush number 3. Well done. Moses is pretty good at hiding behind those burning bushes. Well, that was a really fun game time. Thanks for joining us. It was a blast. Now, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hi everyone, and welcome back to another Unboxing the Bible. You know, with the holiday season coming up, I'm so excited for all the presents I might get, but I always remember that there's no gift greater than God's Word because it's always relevant and there's so much to explore. So, today's word is S-E-N-T, sent. And today's word comes from Exodus 3:13. It says, I am who I am. Say this to the people of Israel. I am has sent me to you. Now you say it with me. I am who I am. Say this to the people of Israel. I am has sent me to you. Exodus 3:13. Well, thanks so much for unboxing the Bible today. We'll see you next time.
Hey friends, welcome to today's Bible story. So our Bible story today talks about a baby, and so I kind of thought it would be fun if you tried to match the baby to the staff member. Which of these babies is the grown-up staff member? We're gonna put the pictures of all of them on the screen, and let's just see for fun if you guys can guess who is who. Ready, set, go. Aw, how cute are all those babies? All right, well, let's see if you got it right. Are you ready? Let's reveal who is who right now. How fun was that game? I love to look at baby pictures, and I bet you guys do too. And I said our story today has a baby in it, but really just for a short period of time. That's just a fun way to get you guys to remember what today's lesson is. And so let's go together to Exodus chapter 1. That is where our Bible story takes place, between Exodus 1 and 4. And in these chapters, a lot happens. So if you remember last week, we talked about Joseph and his family. Remember, his brothers were so terrible to him, but then he was working for the king in Egypt, and they came to him because they needed to have food because there was a famine, and then they realized, oh, it's our brother Joseph. And then Joseph brought his brothers into the land of Egypt. He was able to feed them, and guess what? Their family grew. The family of Jacob, which is the family of Israel, because if you remember, God gave Jacob a new name, Israel. The family grew and expanded, and God blessed them in the land of Egypt. So that's where our story is taking place today. So keep that in mind, that these Israelites are living in Egypt, and they are growing and thriving. Well, how do you think the people of Egypt felt about that? They got scared. The king of Egypt was scared, thinking, oh, these Israelites are going to take over our land. Oh no. So the king of Egypt decided to make the Israelites slaves. He decided that he would put taskmasters over them, and that they would give them really hard and difficult work to do, to kind of suppress them and make them feel like they weren't thriving and growing. So the Israelites in Egypt, who were prosperous and doing really well, had now become slaves, and they were doing really difficult work. Well, after that, Pharaoh made an even more evil plan. And his plan was that he was going to kill all of the Israelite baby boys. Oh no, because then they wouldn't be able to keep expanding in their population. Well, here is where we enter baby Moses into our story. Maybe you guys are familiar with this story about baby Moses, but if you're not, pay attention. So Moses' mom had baby Moses, and she didn't want anything bad to happen to him. So she put him in a basket after he was 3 months old, and she made sure he was all safe, and sent him down the river, praying and hoping that he would have a better life and wouldn't have to be scared of what the Egyptians might do to him. Well, guess how cool God is. Well, while baby Moses was floating down the river, Pharaoh's daughter was at the river, and she saw the baby. She saw baby Moses, and she didn't know where he came from, but she felt sorry for him. And so she took him into their house and she raised him as her own. Whoa! So let's get this straight. This little Israelite baby boy who was supposed to be killed was actually saved by the Pharaoh's daughter. Whoa! Doesn't God do such cool things? So Moses was actually raised up like in royalty in the Pharaoh's household. How cool is that? Well, many years go on and Moses becomes an adult and he sees the oppression of the Israelite people and he doesn't like how they are treated. And one day he sees how one of the taskmasters, the people who are over the slaves of Israel, how they were treating the Israelites and beating them. And so when no one was looking, Moses killed the slave master. And then he tried to hide it and bury him. And then he fled into the wilderness because he didn't want to get in trouble. And here's where the story gets even more cool. God spoke to Moses in the wilderness. So here Moses is running away because he knows there'd be a consequence for what he has done. And he sees this burning bush and he's looking at it like, what? That bush is on fire, but it's not being consumed. It's not burning up. What's happening? So let's go to Exodus chapter 3 and let's read about this burning bush. It says this: one day Moses was tending the flock of his father-in-law Jethro, the priest of Midian. He led the flock far into the wilderness and came to Sinai, the mountain of God. There the angel of the Lord appeared to him in a blazing fire from the middle of a bush. Moses stared in amazement. Though the bush was engulfed in flames, it didn't burn up. He thought, this is amazing. Why isn't that bush burning up? I must go see it. And when the Lord saw Moses coming to take a closer look, God called to him from the middle of the bush and said, Moses, Moses. And Moses said, here I am. Whoa! God was calling out to Moses. We can see that the Lord spared Moses' life because he had a great purpose for him. And now we're going to see that purpose unfold. So God goes on to tell Moses that he has seen the oppression of his people. He says this to him: I have certainly seen the oppression of my people in Egypt. I've heard their cries of distress because of their harsh slave drivers. Yes, I'm aware of their suffering, so I have come down to rescue them from the power of the Egyptians and lead them out of Egypt into their own fertile and spacious land. It is a land flowing with milk and honey. Wow, this is where God gives the promise that his people will be in their own beautiful and lush land. And he's telling this to Moses, and he's going to tell Moses that Moses is going to be the one to go and tell the people that they are going to be free from Egypt. But it says here that Moses protested to God. Who am I to appear before Pharaoh? Who am I to lead the people out of Egypt? So Moses was a little scared maybe. He was a little afraid of this task that God was sending him on because he knew that facing Pharaoh would not be easy. And God said, I will be with you. And this is your sign that I am the one who has sent you. When you have brought the people out of Egypt, you will worship God at this very mountain. Whoa, more promises that God is giving to Moses and his people. So he kept going, and God said this. This is our memory verse. God said to Moses, I am who I am. Say this to the people of Israel, I am has sent me to you. And also say that Yahweh, the God of your ancestors, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac and of Jacob, has sent me to you. This is my eternal name, my name to remember for all generations. And then God goes on and tells him the elders will accept what you are saying, and he encourages Moses to go on. But Moses protested God again. Okay, so first he was being fearful. Now he's being stubborn, and he is not trusting what God is saying. And so he's like, okay, so in chapter 4, he says, well, what if they won't believe me or listen to me? What if they say, the Lord never appeared to you? And then the Lord gave him 3 different signs that he can show to the people to show God's power working through Moses. One was to throw down a staff and it became a snake. Woo! And then the Lord told Moses, he'll reach down and pull the tail and it'll become a staff again. And that's exactly what happened. Then the Lord said, you can perform this sign as well. Put your hand in your cloak and pull it back out. So he did, and when he did, his hand had a severe disease all over it. And then he put his hand back inside, and then his hand was perfectly white as snow, pure, clean, like nothing had ever happened. Whoa. Isn't that so cool? Then it says this in verse 9, and if they don't believe you or listen to you even after those 2 signs, then take some water from the Nile River, pour it out on dry land. When you do, the water from the Nile will turn to blood on the ground. Wow. So God has given Moses 3 very powerful signs to prove that Moses had been sent by God. Okay, you guys, do you think Moses was convinced at this point? No, he still said, but God. He said, but God, I'm not very good with words. You know, I'm not a very good public speaker, so I don't think I can do this. Whoa. Do you think you could say that to God? If he was appointing you to something so big and powerful, maybe we would be scared too, just like Moses. But the Lord said, I will instruct you. I will be with you as you speak, and I will instruct you in what to say. Wow. That's pretty cool. And then the Lord said, you know what, you can take your brother Aaron with you and he can help you through it all. What a cool story. So we see Moses, this little itty bitty baby. He was maybe going to be a victim of the Egyptian law that all the baby boys were going to have to be killed, but he wasn't. God saved Moses. God put Moses in a place to be close to the Pharaoh. And then God called him to do something grand. Now, obviously Moses was scared, he was terrified, and maybe it was something he really didn't want to do. But God wants to work through us. This story was about Moses, but God has given each of you guys a purpose. He created you for a reason. And one of those reasons is to show the world God's love. When we have accepted Jesus into our hearts, we become like a light, and we should shine that light out into the world and onto others so that they can know about the truth of God. And the Bible says that Jesus says to his disciples, now go out and make disciples of all nations. That's his command to us. So we also have a mission and have been sent on that mission by God to share his truth and word and love with those all around us. All right, guys, well, I hope you enjoyed the beginning of the story of Moses. There's so much more to learn about his life and how he let God work through him. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hey friends, Jackie here, and welcome to Crafty Time. Today we are talking about God calling Moses from the burning bush, and I thought it would be really fun to create our own little fire using our hands and some construction paper and glue. So really easy, simple craft with stuff you probably already have at home. So we need red paper, orange paper, you could use yellow paper too if you have it, and black paper. So I'm gonna take my hand. The fire's gonna be big with my hand. Your fire will be a little bit smaller, but I'm gonna trace my hand on a piece of paper here, and my fingers are gonna be the flames of the fire. Ooh. And now I'll do the same on the orange paper. Okay, now I'm gonna cut them out. Now what we're gonna do is take our black piece of paper like it's nighttime, and we're gonna put our hand flames together. I'm gonna turn it in opposite directions, and look, it looks like a cool little fire. Isn't that cute? So I'm just gonna glue these into position. Glue is so much fun. I'm gonna put this one here, and I'm gonna flip the hand in the opposite direction so that the flame looks like it's fanning out even more. Okay, and then below our fire, to make it look even more like a fire, we're gonna do 2 popsicle sticks like this. Okay, so let's glue those down. This one might be a little bit better with hot glue, and I'm gonna let that dry, but I'll tilt it up to show you. Look how cute, our little hand campfire. This is a really cute craft to remind us that God appeared to Moses in the burning bush to call him for his purpose, which was to lead his people out of Egypt. And God has called us to things too, like share the gospel with the whole world. So I hope you make this craft, and I hope it reminds you that God is with you and he is calling you too. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Oh, I'm so good at this. Can you guys believe how fast I learned? Oh, yikes. Never mind.
Hey, Jackie, you playing guitar there?
Trying.
Okay, well, if God's calling you to this, then you want to honor what He's calling you to. And maybe if it doesn't sound perfect right now, which it sounds pretty good, it's getting there. But if you practice as unto the Lord, I think you're going to learn and be able to use your gift for Him. Hey, that's sounding better as we go.
Yeah. All right. Well, it reminds us of our story today. Remember that God preserved Moses' life for a purpose. He wanted to use Moses to help his people be free of the Egyptians and to not be slaves anymore. And so when Moses got this mission, remember, he was really scared because he was afraid to talk in front of people. But he was going to do it anyway because God had sent him. And maybe God is sending you to do something you're afraid of. Maybe it's learning how to play guitar so you can do worship. Or maybe it's talking to a friend who doesn't know Jesus about Jesus so that they can learn the truth. Well, take a cue from Moses and don't be afraid and don't push back on God. He'll be with you. You can trust Him. He will stay with you and He will help you.
Well, hey, if you'd like to see more services like this, you can find us on YouTube and Instagram at Harvest Kids Live, and you can learn more lessons to apply to your life about God. Well, Jackie, I think it's only fitting that we end today with Row, Row, Row Your Boat. Ready? Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Let's practice.